You know, we have more than a dozen contractors out there providing military housing to our services, and some are better than others. There's one that's kind of notorious at one end of the spectrum, and that's Balfour Beatty, and that's I'm very familiar with that because that's where this whole thing started. In my opening statement, I mentioned the Tinker Air Force Base, but they also are representing Lackland, Maelstrom, Travis, and Fairchild. And it might be a little unfair since you're the newest one, Secretary Barrett, but to give you the first question. You know, when does, if you have a repeater like this and this conduct like this, why is it that they're still there? What do we have to do? How do you pull a plug? How do you get that done? What are there contract obstacles out there? But we want to get things done, and you're the newest one out there. What do you think?
Senator, that's what we're looking at. Before I was confirmed, the Air Force was taking action on exactly that concern. That company received a letter of concern from the Air Force expressing that the Air Force has lost confidence in their ability to perform under their contract. That letter was issued in September. Since that time, they have not been receiving performance incentive fees. Since that time, all of their contract, they have the contract on many bases, all of their performance fees have been withheld. So they are under financial penalty right now. In addition to that, it has been requested that they submit an action plan for what they will be doing. That plan is due by the end of the year, and there will be metrics and accountability from that plan, or the Air Force will be initiating the elements accessible to us under the dispute resolution procedures, which could lead to anything up to a default on their lease.
Okay, then I guess the short version is you're doing everything that you can do that you inherited, all the facilities that you are able to, changes you're able to make currently. To each of the secretaries, I'd like to mention, or I keep hearing that they're talking about these companies said that they would be open to reopening these agreements to ensure transparency, accountability, and performance. They never talk anything about what the cost would be. So I would ask any secretary who would like to respond to the question that behind closed doors, are companies actually willing to reopen these agreements, or are they just giving lip service to contractors trying to dig their way out of a bad situation? If they're open to reopening them, the agreements, have any of them talked about what the cost would be involved to do such a thing?
Let me go first.
Any of the secretaries?
Mr. Chairman, in our most recent discussions with the RCI partners, there was a discussion about the restructuring of the debt of their companies. The economics, in most cases, for the projects are under 1996 interest rates. So 7, 8, 9% for these projects, which by changing the scoring model at OMB, we can provide an opportunity for them to go to capital markets and increase the capital for reinvestment. What we need to do, what we've instructed in the Army is for General Gus Perna to come back with an analysis of just how substantial of a project this would entail, and then would have to negotiate that. But the sense that I had from the most recent discussion in September was there was definitely energy to do that.
Any other secretaries?
We absolutely would consider reopening the contracts, renegotiating the contracts. It's much more efficient to work under that contract now if they will correct their behaviors, but if not, we will certainly. And
much cheaper than trying to start all over again, I would suggest too. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know, we do have some, we've gotten some positive results. I know we hear more about the negative results, but I know in our case of Tinker, Colonel Filchek took command of the 72nd Air Wing, and things really started to improve. And one of the things he did, and I was down there, and I heard from other people saying that he actually went to town hall meetings, and we're talking about those that are in charge of the chain of command, go to town hall meetings and meet with people and really get emotionally involved in them. So I'd like to at least point out that some good things are happening, and we want to learn from those experiences. Senator Reid.